What's up, people? William here from fitnessforbackpain.com. Got a really cool video for you today all about suspension training. If you're looking to find a way to train your legs with a suspension system such as this wonderful TRX system here, or I've got a blast strap system right there. You can use either one of these things. If you have a suspension trainer, you can train your legs safely if you have a sensitive back. Today's video, I'm gonna show you 5 exercises that you can do on your suspension trainer anywhere that you are, with weight or without weight. No matter what your goals are to get out of pain or build strength, you can do it with a simple tool that most gyms have. You know, I talk to a lot of people who are trying to navigate exercise around their pain, right? They've got nagging injuries, shoulder injuries, low back injuries, and they're trying to use exercise to get out of pain, but oftentimes exercise is what actually causes pain. And the default response is to just push ahead, keep going. The pain will go away. The pain is weakness leaving the body. It's the stupidest saying in the world, but that's what you believe. So you push through, your injury gets worse, and next thing you know, you're on the operating table, you're in a wheelchair, you can't walk. Lots of crazy things happen when you don't train smart. What I want to do is give you a free workshop that I put together. It covers what I call my Smart Strength method. It teaches you exactly, specifically how to train out of pain, how to organize and structure and design a workout program for yourself that's not only going to overcome your chronic low back pain, but it's gonna allow you to build strength and think longevity. Think 10 years from now. If you wanna be pain-free, you wanna train smart, check out this video. I'll link it below. It's absolutely free. Let me know where you want me to send it, and I'll send it to you. Let's check out the first exercise we're gonna be covering with the blast strap suspension trainer. You can use these with the TRX, blast strap, again, whatever you have available to you. These are just your standard suspension trainer systems. The first one I'm gonna show you is the skater squat. It's a really easy exercise, especially if you have a low back sensitivity, if you're trying to work more of the single leg type of exercises versus the barbell squatting or dumbbell squatting with both legs. This is a great exercise to start with. So with the skater squat, what you're gonna do is set your suspension trainer up on what's gonna fit you the best way. That'll vary depending on what you're looking to do or how far away from your unit you wanna be. So what you want it to look like is your foot is centered in between these 2 straps here. It's a good distance away. When I go to start my lunge, I'm stepping back, tapping down, and then coming back up. Here, I've got my ribs down, my abs on, coming back, loading that right leg up, tap, and come back up. A skater squat, in its hardest form, is without the straps. You're trying to work on balance, work on strength, coordination, to be able to come down, tap your knee, and come back up. So to make it harder, will be less focus on actual holding these bands or holding these handles. So what that looks like is, instead of putting too much weight back on these bands and relying on these bands to kind of hold you up, that's one way, especially if you have a really sensitive back. But if you want to kind of add some difficulty, come forward some and really try to have a light grip on these straps. Come back, touch your knee down, and come back up. What you want to make sure you're not doing is, as you're coming back, you start to get scared a little bit, and you're afraid your lower back's gonna kind of catch you, do something weird. So you kind of go, and you're just trying to reach for that ground, and you overextend the low back, causing some irritation. Nice and relaxed, come down, tap your knee, come back up. The other way you can modify this is how low you're going with your knee. So I had this yoga block here. If I didn't want to go all the way down with my knee, what I would do is I'd put this yoga block here, and I'd have to get it adjusted to fit me best. But what I'm gonna do, I'm not sure if you can see that block. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down, down, down until my knee touches that block, and then I'm gonna come back up. So if you're really sensitive, having this block here to keep you from going too low to where you're like, ugh, you're trying to catch and you're trying to jump back up because A, you're weak, you don't have the coordination yet, or your lower back is that sensitive. So try that out, skater squat. All right, so I'm gonna show you the single leg squat with the leg that you're not squatting with being out front, all right? So what this looks like, same rule, you got your foot planted in the center of these straps here. I've got my ribs on, abs on, trying to relax. What I'm gonna do is as I come down, this front leg is gonna come forward. So again, pretty beginner exercise. I'm gonna hinge back. So as I'm coming down, I'm sitting back and I'm gonna come back up. If you feel like you're being pulled too far forward as you're coming down, you're kind of being pulled too far forward, you can make these a little bit longer as far as your straps go and choke up a little bit. You're gonna scoot forward. So as I'm here, you can see here, I'm coming back and I'm sitting back like this, and then I'm forward. You're driving through that hip, driving through that glute, trying to relax that leg. If holding the leg up is too much, you can rest it on something. If you had like a bench or a block, if you just want to put it down like this, that works as well, where you're coming down here, and this foot, if you watch this leg here, this foot's planted here, coming down, 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 and back up. I can still focus on that right leg or left leg, depending where that leg's at. So that is the single leg squat. All right, so the third exercise here is a kind of a combo. What we're gonna do is a pistol squat, so the single leg squat on one leg, and then we're gonna go right into a reverse lunge or skater squat. They look pretty much the same thing, it just depends on how you wanna word it. But what you're gonna do here, I'm gonna start off with the pistol squat. So the front leg is up, going down on a single leg here. So I'm gonna come down here into that pistol squat, come up before I touch down, step back, boom, that's one. Back here, and back. Here, and back. Just like that. You'll repeat that for both sides. Make sure you follow the rules. Ribs down, abs on, relaxing the lower back, making sure you're relaxed. The whole point of having the straps for you is to take some of the load off, to give yourself some stability, allow your mind to relax and just focus on doing the exercise with perfect form, okay? If you find yourself going too low, getting too fatigued, and you start coming down, and to come back up, you're having to do some adjustments, cut it short, take a break, give yourself some rest, and then do it again. All right, so the fourth exercise now, if you can see me, fourth exercise is the lateral lunge or side lunge. Again, all these exercises we're using just body weight, so if you wanted to make them more difficult, obviously you can take a weighted vest, you can take some chains. I've got chains here that I can hang over my neck. So TRX, blast straps, any kind of suspension trainer is not just for like body weight and beginners. You can build some serious strength, build some serious resilience, and just pack on some muscle using these things as long as you're grading it appropriately for your fitness level. Right now, I'm just showing you the body weight stuff. This is actually a TRX system, very similar. It's the same thing pretty much. I've got my blast straps here, then I also have my TRX, so I can kind of do some different angles for you here. But what you're gonna do is I'm going to step out to the side and come down and load that left leg, come back up, okay? And I'm gonna repeat that on both sides. So I'll be here, step out, load it. I'm sitting back on my butt, come forward, step out here, back, here, back. The cool thing about having the suspension system is basically, as I'm coming down, a lot of times people can't do this just with their body weight because of their ankle range of motion, their hip mobility, a lot of different things that come into play with being able to come down here and balance and not be all jacked up. So with a TRX system or the blast strap system or any kind of suspension training system, it allows you to take that factor out where you have stability here, you can compensate a little bit for lack of ankle range of motion or hip range of motion and sit here and work each side of this lunge. Now you can do it a few different ways depending on how much room you have. You can go step side to side like I did, right side, left side, or just stick to one side. Either way, start with the body weight, follow the cues, ribs down, abs on, relaxing the lower back, allowing that strap to carry your body weight. And as you get better and better, you can loosen your grip on the strap and just focus on trying just your body weight without overcompensating or over stiffening anything that doesn't need to get tight, okay? All right, so I'm gonna show you two really cool variations that you can train your hamstrings with, all right? So this one I'm gonna show you here is more of like a hanging hamstring curl. Pretty easy. You can make it harder by doing single leg. I'm gonna show you the double leg one, and I'll show you the single leg. Essentially what you're doing, you're gonna have the straps high enough that when you grab onto them and you're just basically hanging, so you're floating here, and I'll show you here in a minute. And then from there, you're gonna proceed to go into the hamstring curls to hit the back of your hamstrings. Relaxing the lower back, making sure the trunk is your main focus of contraction. And when you're doing the pulls or doing the curls, you're activating those glutes, activating those hamstrings to take on the load. You're not going into overextension during this. That's a big, big thing. A lot of people have extension issues or intolerance. So in doing these things, they kind of arch their back as they're rowing or raking their feet forward or back to them. They arch their lower back, trying to keep that like a piston, nice and tight and nice and neutral, okay? So what this looks like, I'll set my hands up to where I can grab onto them. Once I lift off, I can be hanging. So I'll stretch my legs out. Hope you can see these there. Stretch my legs out, and all I'm doing is I'm rowing and come back nice and slow. So you can work on a little bit of power, pull, control, coming down, right? Pull, control, coming down. The hardest part you're gonna do is the return. So here, coming back nice and slow, take your time with it. It's not a fast thing. Pull in, nice and slow. You do 8 to 10 of those, you're gonna feel it. If it's not hard enough for you, you can always just switch to single leg, to where you've got one leg up like this, and you're rowing in, and you're coming back nice and slow. That's tough. It is tough doing a single leg hamstring curl on the straps. Now, I'll show you the other way. Boom. So once I'm in, and you can do the same thing with the TRX system that's hanging behind you, but the TRX system, I can put the blast strap system, I can put my foot in here and rest it right here. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but I can rest it just like this, okay? So I'll do that with both sides. Put my foot in, I'll get back here, and what I'm gonna do is essentially you're doing the same thing, any kind of hamstring curl protocol you'd be following, okay? So my hands are flat down. I'm gonna engage and start the exercise from my glutes, not my lower back. This is an arched, my back is super arched here. You wanna push that in, not flatten it, 'cause sometimes flattening your lower back can actually cause some more issues if you're super sensitive. So try to find that neutral position. Find a place that feels comfortable. Nothing's spasming, nothing's contracting, stiffening. You can stay relaxed here. Once you're there, quick breath out, that'll brace your stomach here, okay? And from there, I'm gonna lift with my hamstrings. I'm gonna row or curl in. Come down, drive in. It's very simple, just like a stability ball hamstring curl or a machine hamstring curl. Come up nice and slow and return nice and slow. All right, hamstring curls, try both those variations out. Find one that fits you best. Get after it. Woo, that's it guys, a very simple leg suspension trainer workout. If you have a TRX, if you have a blast strap, if you don't have one, you can get them for fairly cheap. I got this really sweet, the military grade one. I love this thing. I've had it for years since I was an early trainer. It's amazing. You've got to get a suspension trainer. This and a weighted vest is all you need if you want to build strength no matter where you are and get out of pain. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate everything that you do, every view you have, every like. Make sure you hit like. It helps me out. I want to reach as many low back pain sufferers and people who are trying to train pain-free as I can. And I need your help hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe. Make sure you hit on the notifications, leave a comment, let me know what exercise you love best or what exercises you want me to show you how to do if you are dealing with low back pain or just want to build strength pain-free. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you on the next episode.